Welcome, everyone, to our City Council meeting, March 10th, 2026. Hard to believe it's already 2026. If you could please, if you could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I do have a prayer this evening. Dear God, as we gather together this evening, we ask for your blessing be upon all of us involved in our meeting, from the decision makers to those affected by decisions and our wonderful city staff. Give us all patience for understanding, bless our every thought and our every task, grant us love and peace of mind, and guide us to act justly in all of our dealings. Amen. Please be seated. All right, could we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember LeBlanc.
Present.
Councilmember Musgrove.
Here.
Councilmember Nunez.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Sanella.
Here.
And Mayor Jones.
Here. Okay, we don't have any presentations this evening. So next up is our consent calendar. Do we have any items that any council members wish to pull?
Move to approve.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Seeing none. Okay, moving on to oral communications. We do not have any this evening. Okay, public hearings. Next up, item number 9, ordinance 2026-1577 and resolution 2026-9549. I should slow down just a little bit. I think everyone's going, oh my gosh, she's really going fast. And okay, we'll give you a minute.
So.
I looked back there and then I heard the door and I thought, oh wow, okay. Anyway, so and resolution 9549, Davia Village / Mark specific plan amendment and conditional use permit to allow up to 10 residential units within 15,000 square feet of ground floor commercial space in an existing mixed-use building located at 1045 Armorlight Drive. Specific plan amendment, SPA 24-0002, and conditional use permit, CUP 24-0001. And the recommendation is approval, but Mr. Faraci, do you have a presentation this evening?
Yes, good evening, Mayor Jones, council members. Karina Flores will be providing a presentation on this project tonight.
Good evening, thank you. Tonight's item is a specific plan amendment and conditional use permit to allow the temporary conversion of existing ground floor commercial space with up to 10 residential units within an existing mixed-use development. Here we see the vicinity map of the project site, which is developed with 416 residential dwelling units and 15,229 square feet of retail space, all within 6 buildings. The specific plan boundary is outlined in blue. Immediately west of the development is the Palomar Station specific plan. Surrounding properties to the north, south, and east are within the industrial zones. Site access is provided via Armorlight Drive and Bingham Drive. The project site is located an approximate 1/8 of a mile from the Palomar Station Sprinter Station, with direct access through the NCTD parking lot. For a brief background, in 2014, the project was approved by the city. In 2017, project construction was completed. In 2018, the city approved a modification to the project that removed conditions of approval that limited population. In December 2024, the application before you now was submitted. The project consists of the following requested entitlements. The specific plan amendment adds language allowing the conversion of retail space with up to 10 residential units with a supporting market analysis to demonstrate economic conditions justify the conversion, and demonstration of adequate parking is provided on site. The conditional use permit contains provisions establishing a 10-year term for the residential units. Upon expiration, the permit will be subject to renewal if market conditions continue to support residential use. Conditions of approval also require residential lease agreements be consistent with the term of the conditional use permit, and for tenants to be provided with written disclosure of the conditional use permit term. A market analysis was prepared by the applicant to evaluate commercial retail demand. The analysis demonstrates ground floor retail has remained vacant due to various market constraints, including insufficient residential density in the area, a lack of sustained tenant interest, and low vehicle traffic on Armorlight Drive. The project responds to demands resulting from city and statewide housing shortages, activates vacant storefronts revitalizing Armorlight Drive, and provides additional workforce housing in a transit-oriented location. Nearby mixed-use developments have also converted retail space to residential due to similar market conditions. This project will be compatible with a growing transit-oriented, higher-density development pattern along Armorlight Drive. A patio for each residential unit will be provided along Armorlight Drive. However, the project mainly involves interior tenant improvements. The exterior would remain consistent with the approved specific plan architecture and development standards. Here you can see renderings demonstrating the proposed changes to the existing building facade. Each residential patio would be enclosed with 48-inch high fencing and landscape planters, providing individual private outdoor space for residents. These patios bring residents directly to the ground floor, which helps activate Armorlight Drive and create a lively street presence as the transparent design maintains openness along the sidewalk. 46 existing parking spaces serve the commercial area being converted. 14 parking spaces are required for the residential units. 32 excess parking spaces will be reallocated to serve the remaining commercial areas and residential units. The specific plan initially included the adoption of a mitigated negative declaration. An addendum was prepared for the project in accordance with CEQA guidelines and concluded proposed changes would not result in new environmental impacts, substantial increase in previously identified impacts, and does not require new or revised mitigation measures. The proposed project remains within the scope of development evaluated in the original CEQA analysis. The February 2nd Planning Commission meeting consisted of presentations by staff and the applicant, and Planning Commission discussion where commissioners confirmed the inclusion of an ADA unit in the project and shared concerns that parking for the proposed units may not be convenient. However, parking for the entire project is distributed throughout the site, and the proposed units will have parking locations consisting with other units. Some commissioners shared concerns over the loss of commercial square footage, while other commissioners expressed support for the conversion on the basis that the site has struggled to attract tenants and the change is intended to activate previously vacant storefronts. After deliberation, the Planning Commission voted 6-1 to approve the project. In summary, the specific plan amendment is consistent with the general plan in that residential uses will be allowed only on a temporary basis through conditional use permit approval, therefore maintaining mixed uses established within the specific plan. The conversion is compatible with surrounding land uses and neighborhood character by responding to market conditions through the conversion of vacant retail space. The temporary conversion would have no adverse impacts to public health, safety, or welfare, as the project complies with parking requirements and involves no changes to the building footprint. Staff recommends City Council adopt the addendum to mitigated negative declaration ND 13-003 and approve ordinance 2026-1577 for specific plan amendment 24-0002. and resolution number 2026-9545 for conditional use permit 24-001. This concludes staff presentation.
Thank you, Karina. I do have one question. In that, in the spaces, and maybe I'll wait, maybe I should wait. If you can't answer this, don't worry, I can ask the applicant. But are we thinking that that area would be so active in the front that we might have barbecue areas? Because I'm not sure if I even like that idea. I'm just kind of curious. Do we know about that, or have we discussed it?
Well, the areas where that are being enclosed, they're rather small.
Yeah.
I don't know if someone intends to have like a little hibachi or something like that out there.
Just feel like it's in such close proximity to everything else. I don't know if I would like that. So I don't know if we've thought about that. Maybe I will ask the applicant. But
Okay.
as I'm listening, it's just kind of occurring to me that I don't even know if I would like that idea. So anyway, I like the outdoor space. However, I'm just not sure like what the partitions would be in between the spaces. Sorry to throw you off. And if you want to go ahead and give your presentation, and then I could ask that question. It's just, I was thinking as we were kind of going along, maybe I would just ask staff.
Jason Greminger, I'm representing the property owner. I don't really have a presentation tonight. I'm really
Okay.
just here to answer some questions. I think the staff did a good job presenting the nuts and bolts of the request tonight. I will say they have had a very difficult time trying to lease these retail spaces. At one point, they even offered a space for, a period, I think maybe 6 months of free rent to try and attract a user, and that didn't work. So after years of trying, I think they felt that maybe this could work in an interim kind of condition. And so we're here tonight to ask for approval.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I do have a follow-up question on that for you or for staff. How did we come up with 10 years? Is that tied to something that I missed, or how do we balance that? It just seems like a short amount of time, but
That's a pretty typical time when we have use permits where we want them to come back for review. So they'll come back for review, they'll submit another market analysis, and we'll take a look at the conditions and act accordingly. But 10 years is a pretty typical renewal timeframe that we use.
okay, thank you for that.
And, for 10 years, in my opinion, seems fine. However, I actually still had some other questions that I was thinking. So it's an attractive nuisance when they're sitting there and they're not actually being filled. In my opinion, when you've got storefronts that don't actually have any businesses in them. And I know a few of them have been rented over time or leased over time. And it seems to me the businesses haven't really had the foot traffic, I think, that we had hoped. And even it seems kind of weird with the Innovation Park right there and everything. But I think that, going for a short term, so how are we going to do the leases, or how are you going to do the leases? Are they going to be on a yearly basis, or how is that going to work?
We haven't chatted about that per se, but
Yeah.
they'll probably have a standard lease term, which is, usually 1 year lease, and then options to release or vacate. So I think that's probably going to follow their standard model.
Okay, and as I was discussing up here, the whole barbecue issue, I feel like that wouldn't be working very well. Have you thought about what that would look like as far as whether they would be, seating areas sound fine, I just feel like they're in such close proximity, I don't know if a barbecue would work.
Right, and I understand that. We hadn't had any specific conversations about what the outdoor amenities would look like for those units fronting that street on Armorlight. I'm sure the property owners are open to some restrictions or some kind of management language that they can control what goes, out on those spaces, right? Because they don't want them looking messy on the street front.
Right, exactly, that would be another consideration. And it's been such a long time since we approved that. I don't recall, isn't there a common area too where they have like a barbecue space and something like that?
I believe
already?
there is, yes.
Yeah,
they've-
okay.
They've got several of them.
Yeah, I mean,
scattered
it's
throughout.
been, I mean, all the way back, it's been several years. 2017, it was completed. Okay, and then I do like the flexibility. And what's going to happen on the inside so that it would be easily converted back if if it does end up working out, so that we need more retail space in that area?
I think the basic premise is that the kind of tall element to the commercial retail space is going to remain. So they'll construct lofts and do all their interior TIs, but none of that can't be demoed in the future if they want to do a conversion back to the retail space.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Yes,
Thank you.
Councilmember Musgrove.
Couple of questions. Are we displacing any commercial businesses to affect this?
No, not at all. Currently vacant, all of them. And one space is being used as their leasing office.
And so we're looking at 15,000 square feet and 10 units roughly. It's not going to be exactly 1,500 per, but some balance inside there.
Right. Yeah.
1 and 2 bedroom units, maybe 3.
They're, I think, all of them one-bedroom lofts, and then they have a corner unit that's 2-bedroom, fully downstairs, because it couldn't support a loft.
And market rate?
Market rate.
Okay, thank you. And then I have comments, Mayor, when we're ready.
Okay. Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, no questions, but I do have a comment, a couple comments. Well, first off, thanks Jason, and thank you staff, Karina, for providing this great presentation. I was very impressed by the architecture and the design and some of the creativity that went into it. And while I would love to have commercial activity taking place in these, I think over the last 9 years, the market's just has proven that it's not ready for it, and the market's going to drive a lot of that. So we're living in a time right now where there's a housing shortage. There's not a lot of rentals available. I see it on social media all the time. And so this will give the community an opportunity and add some rental units to that supply that don't exist right now. And so I think that'll be a good thing for those that are looking for this. And I do like reevaluating it after 10 years. Doesn't mean it's going to change back to commercial. I think there'll be a market analysis at that time, and if it makes sense, then it will convert. And if it doesn't make sense, then it'll remain residential, maybe for another 10 years. So I'm supportive. Thank you.
Yes, and then Councilmember LeBlanc.
Sorry, I'm working with a different mic here. I'm just curious what the current occupancy is of the building as it is now, and then also what the market is for ground floor units and how you analyze that.
I think there were 400 so units.
There's 416 units in the building.
416 units. As far as the price points for the rentals, I'm not aware of what they're charging over there at the moment, so I couldn't really speak to that.
Do you know what the current occupancy is in terms of
Oh,
how many of the units are rented?
I believe they're
at the moment?
pretty full. I
Oh,
think
it
their
is?
occupancy rate's pretty
Okay.
high, yes.
And then how did you come to, analyze the market about if ground floor units are currently in demand and if they're marketable? Because I know some people, they don't want ground floor units, but I'm just curious, what is the current market for that, if you know?
Not per se, but I know that the driving factor here was kind of the layout and the way that we had to keep it configured to have that conversion back to the retail space if we need to in the future. I personally don't like stairs, so I would appreciate ground floor units. And I do think if people have some mobility issues, these are probably a better option for them, especially the one unit on the end, which is fully considered an ADA unit because it's the 2-bedroom ground floor living. So I think there's some opportunities there for some people who don't really like stairs like myself or don't want to be climbing up and down all day long to occupy those spaces.
Okay, any other?
Just a quick comment,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, Councilmember.
So when this was first approved, I think we all had envisioned a ground floor commercial. We can look at, the Creekside and our general plan and this grand vision, but a lot has changed since then. And as the mayor knows very well, we get demands from Sacramento all the time about more housing. So I think this is a great idea for the property owner to advantage that moment and say, look, if we're not renting it out for commercial, we can certainly offer it up as more residential space with that option to convert. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, let alone 10 years from now. I think this is a fantastic idea to give us a little bit more room to get some more people in town and still have that option moving down the road. So I commend you for doing it, and I'm supportive.
Thank you, Councilmember. And just as a reminder, we did actually have to convert some ground floor retail at Creekside, as you know, as it was sitting vacant as well. And we certainly don't want to see vacant storefronts again. I believe that it's an attractive nuisance because, you know, if it's just sitting there, you know, people could come in and try to live there. We don't want that either. Anyway, thank you for the answering our questions. Yes, did you have
I was going to add on to that, Councilmember LeBlanc. There are other ground floor units in the apartment complex. They're kind of scattered throughout. So I think it was three stories, right? We approved it. Was it?
I think there were a couple at Palomar Station that we had
Yeah,
converted.
there were as well.
On
Those
the
seem to
other
be-
side.
That's right.
Yeah.
Across the street, there's some
Yes.
units that
Yeah,
were
across the
converted.
street.
Those seem to be pretty well occupied as well.
Okay, great. Yeah, that, I just wanted to make sure that there's a demand for that because obviously we do need more housing and, you know, we wouldn't want to convert them and then have those also sit empty because they weren't as marketable as the higher floors. So
Right.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
And also one more thing for context, in San Alejo Hills, we had the same issue, only the ground floor commercial spaces for restaurants, for instance, didn't have grease traps. So there was a problem of they couldn't really convert them over and use them for big restaurants. And then they couldn't really use them, I think, as much for residential. There was something about residential. Maybe it wasn't the grease trap issue, but there have been issues over time, which is one of the things that we've always talked about of being flexible and having the ability to convert. We always knew this might be an option at some point in time. So, I mean, it goes way back, the conversation, but just for context, for people that weren't here then. So, okay, yes, Councilmember,
Just,
did you?
if we're finished, Mayor, make a motion to close the public hearing.
Well, thank you, and I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Any noes? Seeing none? All right, what about a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to adopt the addendum to the MND, approve SPA 24-0002, and approve the CUP 24-001 as stated in the opening resolution by staff.
Everyone's trained so well here. I love that.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Seeing none? All right, thank you. All right, moving on to, thank you, Karina and Joe. Appreciate you too. Moving on to oral communications, we have none. Okay, moving on to reports. Sandag, we did have a meeting. It was actually at the last week, which was the executive committee meeting, so they've changed things a bit. And that was, we have draft agendas coming forward, working group restructuring, and also coming up this Friday at the Board of Directors meeting, we will be talking about ARGIS again. So that is finally coming forward. We did receive a memo that was a closed session that we'll be discussing at our next meeting. That's coming up this Friday. And then League of California Cities, Councilmember Musgrove. Oh,
Councilmember LeBlanc.
Councilmember LeBlanc.
Went in my stead.
Oh, and you know what? I forgot to make mention. I'm so sorry, Councilmember. But she's getting better, and so if she has to pop up to stretch her back, it's perfectly normal. But we're so happy that you're back with us, and you don't have to have your little pop-up desk anymore. You're getting back to where you were before, and we're really excited to have you back.
Yes, thank you for all the support while I've recovered from my second back surgery in 3 months. So hopefully let's stay out of the OR for a while for me. Slowly but surely. All right, so I attended Cal City's meeting yesterday. We had one action item, and we approved a $150 increase in our yearly dues. They had not had an increase since 2006, so it was about time. So that now goes from $600 flat rate per city to $750 flat rate per city. And also, if anybody would like to follow the League of California Cities on Instagram and Facebook, they now have a specific San Diego division account. So that is on Instagram. It's at Cal Cities San Diego County, and Facebook, it's League of California Cities San Diego County Division. So that's brand new if you'd like to follow along to see what they're specifically doing in San Diego. And the big item was presentations by Clean Energy Alliance and San Diego Community Power to discuss the increase in the rates and what they're doing to provide rate relief. And as we know, we had a great presentation from CEO Greg Wade from Clean Energy Alliance at our last meeting, so I won't go too much into what he said. If you'd like to see all of the details, you can go back and watch our meeting from 2 weeks ago on YouTube. But he gave a thorough presentation and talked about the average increase across all of their rate classes is about 4.8 cents per kilowatt hour. And they are doing a rate relief credit for the rest of the year in their Clean Impact program. So anybody who would like to take advantage of that rate relief credit can do that online. And that's just for their Clean Impact program. It's not for the Clean Impact Plus or the higher level one. And most people who join the program are defaulted into the Clean Impact Plus. So you would have to opt down to take advantage of that rate credit. And that was it was a very informative presentation, and I don't know if Councilmember Nunez would like to add anything on to that because she is our division president. But that was the big item. We ran out of time for our legislative update at the meeting, and there will be a new bill briefing webinar on March 24th for cities. But I don't know if you'd like to add anything, Councilmember.
No, I think you covered most of it. I think the only thing that really comes to mind is that I'm really glad to hear that our community, both San Diego Community Power and Clean Energy Alliance work very closely together. And they have very similar programs that are available to the residents.
Absolutely.
I was going to bring this up during Councilmember Nunez's presentation, but maybe I'll bring this up now since you've been talking about that. Is it possible, Michelle, City Manager, is it possible to have on our website a link to the Clean Energy Alliance so that folks, and maybe like a short synopsis of if you did want to opt in to the other program, how you would do that? Is it possible to do that? We did have that presentation at our last meeting, but we didn't have a full house, and so I'm just wondering if we could do that just from our website so that we could talk a little bit about it more, because it will make a big difference, and we want to make sure that everyone understands exactly how this impacts them.
Yes, I can certainly chat with our communications team in the morning.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And if I just
Yes.
may add, Clean Energy Alliance is actively going to do some outreach and education about the relief that is available to residents. So I think that's something that we could coordinate with the staff to make sure that we're linking with them to see where they're going to be and what they will have available. But in fact, they sent us a toolkit. Did that make it to the staff? If not, I can send that to staff.
Okay, I can confirm with staff tomorrow and let you know.
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Councilmember, is that in English and Spanish?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
If we could make sure we have both, that would be good for our community.
Yes, and I'm just getting updates. We do have a link already on the website.
Oh, perfect.
I think,
Okay. I thought we had talked about it
yeah,
last
I think
time,
in response
but
to last time.
But I wasn't sure. I wanted to follow up. I thought I had
Yes.
requested that. Okay.
Mayor, I think
perfect.
the link on the website takes you to the basic page, but we're looking at a link directly to opt-in or out. Is that correct?
No, I think if you had a synopsis of what exactly is happening, and then you would have just with instructions of if you want to opt out, if you want to just let it lie, I guess it would be just a little bit of clarification on that, so that in English and Spanish. And if they're already putting that all together, maybe we just share that. We don't want a heavy lift at the city because it's not really, we don't own that. But, maybe having a link to their information would be good. So however best that looks, we don't want to be in charge of it because it's not ours, but we do want to have the information out there for our residents.
And this reminds me, Councilmember LeBlanc, I believe Greg did give us an update. I want to say it was 86 residents that have already switched and have taken advantage of the rate relief program. I think it was 86, or...
It was it was under 100, but he said that was since February 1st. So he's hopeful that many more people will take advantage. So that's a lot in a month.
Okay, perfect. Okay, North County Transit District, Deputy Mayor.
Yep, nothing to report tonight. We meet on the 19th.
Okay, North County Dispatch, Joint Powers Authority. Councilmember LeBlanc.
Yes,
I think you had a meeting.
We did. We met last week. We started off our meeting with some fun things. I just wanted to say we have really impressive dispatchers at Northcom, and we recognized 3 of them for some CPR saves until the paramedics could arrive. So just hearing their stories was really inspiring. They're just really impressive people. And we also celebrated a couple 5-year anniversaries, and then we welcomed 2 new dispatchers and an IT employee. So they're growing, they're doing really well, have really wonderful people there. And we discussed our preliminary budget. We had a discussion about the facility update for the standalone facility.
20 years in the making.
Yes. I know we talk about that at every meeting, but it is making a lot of progress. We actually have a final draft floor plan of it, and we are targeting March to submit the plans to San Diego County for approval. So if all goes well, should be about 5 years out. So it's making progress for sure. And then we had a closed session regarding labor negotiations, and that's about it.
Okay, all right. Let's see, Clean Energy Alliance. We went through a lot already.
We
I don't
did.
know if you had
We did.
anything to add, Councilmember.
No, I just want to announce for everybody, our next board meeting is March 26th at 2 p.m.
Okay, and that's where?
In La Costa in Carlsbad at the Water Board.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, moving on to City Council business visits. We went, there we are. Yep, wearing tennis shoes. That place is so cool if you've never been there. So that's the 6s and 7s skate shop. It's in the same building, or right in the area of Dos Desperados Brewing.
Yes.
It's right around the corner. I don't know why I think of it like that, but it's right there off of Linda Vista and Las Posas. It's actually on Las Posas. Anyway, it is a really cool skate shop. I've been to a lot of skate shops, not because I skate myself, but my son is now, gosh, he's going to be 30, and my daughter's 26. When my son was skating, like, he was into all of that. So, I mean, the amount of decks that they had hanging was crazy. Anyway, the 6s and 7s skate shop is owned and operated by Paul Koberger, a longtime skateboard industry veteran, artist, and entrepreneur with deep roots in skate culture. He began skating in 1988 and built a career in the skate industry, previously working with companies such as San Diego, CCS, and Transworld. He later served as marketing director at CCS and Transworld, gaining extensive experience in brand development, media, and the broader skateboarding industry. The San Marcos location continues the legacy of the longtime skate shop space previously occupied by Cool Beans, which served the community for more than 13 years. And then did you want to speak a little bit about that, and then I'll wrap us up with what we kind of observed as we were leaving. It's really cool.
It's really an interesting shop. So the 6s and 7s skate shop offers skateboards, components, apparel, and accessories representing a variety of well-known skate brands. So you can see some of that in our pictures. And Paul launched the shop within the goal of supporting local skaters and providing an authentic retail experience grounded in skate culture. And that's really visible throughout the shop. In addition to his business background, Paul is also an artist who began creating portrait drawings of skateboarders and musicians in 2017, blending his creative work with his passion for industry. Can we go to the picture there? There we go.
Steve Caballero.
Yeah, and that is one
Famous
of his.
skater.
Yeah, that is one of his works that's pictured there.
And the cool thing about that is the frame, and I don't know how Paul came up with this idea, but the frame is actually made from one of Steve Caballero's boards. And it's cut up into the little tiles, and then it's made into that. Anyway, he had several of them, probably, 6 or 7 of them. But I'm not kidding. I was blown away, and I was so excited about it. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to do like an exhibit. And then he was like, oh, I do that. And I was like, whoa, what? So anyway, I was just saying, Michelle, I have a dream. My dream is, this is my last year in office here. I feel like I can have dreams now and actually say, let's do this. Wouldn't it be fun to do like a local artist kind of exhibit, like exhibition sort of thing in the community center like this? And then there was, I had recently gone to an actual San Marcos artist, and she had, not with skateboards or anything, but she had done these little QR codes, and music came on with the QR codes. And I was telling him, I go, wouldn't it be cool if you did like QR codes and it like was your inspiration of how you came up with this idea with this actual skateboarder and all of that, and kind of what they did and that sort of thing, whether they'd been in the Olympics or, like that. And he was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. So anyway, it's a dream. I'm just kicking it off. I already mentioned it to Tess and Sarah, and they were like, oh, yeah. I don't know what they were really thinking, but it seems like it would be really fun. But anyway, sorry, Councilmember Nunez, if you wanted to finish. Was it cool?
It was
really
great.
cool.
It was great and really talented.
Anyway, and then, so it's a gathering place for local skaters and youth who frequent nearby skate parks and recreational areas. And the shop emphasizes community engagement through events, connections within the skate industry, and support for local skaters. And by continuing the skate retail presence in this location, the business helps preserve a long-standing part of the local skateboarding community while contributing to San Marcos's small business ecosystem. And they were really excited to hear that San Alejo is going to have a new skate shop, or a skate park. And they were like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to do an event there or something. So just another idea. And they he was super cool. And he still skates. He's in his 40s, he said, but he still skates on a pretty regular basis. So anyway, and they do have their own brand of boards as well, or decks as they call them, that they have manufactured outside San Marcos.
Did he speak to anything about 6s and 7s as why they chose that as a name?
No, they didn't. This was the 6s and 7s,
okay.
which I told him, I go, well, I was born in 67, 67, and I was kind of laughing about that, but he didn't. It was before that. It was before that whole thing started. Yeah.
So also, Mike, that council member or deputy mayor, that is not cool anymore.
I know.
6,
I know.
7.
It's not?
I'm always
My 11-year-old
behind
told
the
me
times.
it's something new now.
Yeah.
Being born in the 60s, 67 was still okay.
That's still cool.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
still cool. Well, I'm going to own that anyway. All right, okay. I think that's, council commentary. Does anyone have anything? Because I feel like I haven't been asking about that
Real
lately.
briefly.
Yes.
I know Councilmember LeBlanc, different time, I think we just missed each other on Saturday. We both paid a visit to the new coffee shop in North City, Necessity. Talked with John, grabbed a great cup of coffee, and then took my wife over to see Christoph, our first visit there. And now I think it's going to be a regular stop for her.
I was the last person to get to Copa Vida because I was all the way down in Coronado for a speaking engagement at a women's event for International Women's Day. And I showed up, and I don't know if y'all knew this, but he actually opened the shop when it was Copa Vida. And then he went out on his own and started Necessity, which, how cool is that? Anyway, so I went in there and I checked it out. I was literally, they were done at 2 and I was there at like 2:10. I was like running and he's like, oh my gosh, you made it. And I go, I'm so sorry, I was so late. And he's like, oh, I can get you some coffee. And I go, I can't have coffee after 2 o'clock, I'll be up all night. So anyway, cool to see kind of a comeback after all this time. I did want to make mention of, if y'all noticed, our tree out in front is missing. Our holiday tree, it's coming back. You know, I've only wanted this for 19 years. 19 long years I've said, could we get a new Christmas tree? And then here he is coming. So Saturday, it's going to be craned in.
Yes, Saturday morning around 10 a.m. we're expecting a crane and the extravaganza of lowering a very, very large tree into the space that's being prepared for it.
And we're going to have the parking lot, I'm assuming, blocked off, so it's
The-
nice and safe for everyone?
Absolutely. The library parking lot will be closed off while we have the crane and the tree in action.
So you can all come on Sunday if you'd like to see our new tree. I haven't even seen a picture of it, so I know there's one out there, but I haven't seen it myself, so it's going to be exciting. Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you to Mike and Andrew from our city team. They helped the Cub Scouts and myself plant a tree in Discovery, is it Children's Park, or is it Discovery Creek Children's Park, over the weekend, and that was a lot of fun. All of the local San Marcos Scouts had a great time, and staff made it really easy. They pre-dug the hole and then put the dirt back in the hole so the kids could still shovel it out, but it was a lot easier for them to do it. And it was great. And so I'm actually gonna have the Scouts come to either the next meeting or the meeting after that, and they're gonna talk a little bit about their experience.
Did we get some live shots of that? How fun for them.
We did.
All right, good. Well, and I'm glad we pre-did that because I've had to dig a hole in my backyard, and we have a lot of clay in our soil here.
That's true.
In our soil here in San Marcos. It's very hard, so I'm glad we did that. So thanks to them. That's amazing. All right. Yes, Councilmember LeBlanc.
Speaking of things this weekend, I also wanted to thank the San Diego Bicycle Coalition for partnering with the city to do an e-bike city cycling safety workshop. We had an okay turnout, but it was the first one, and it was a Ride Right pop-up as well. I was there for a big part of it, and it was very engaging. The kids were having fun. They made it interactive. They closed out the morning with a bike ride around parts of the city, so hopefully we'll be able to do more of those with them. And then also we have a very exciting event coming up next week, our Blue Zones keynote presentation. That is open to the whole community for everyone who wants to learn about our Blue Zones initiative, and that will be at the Terry Campus of Life. And you can sign up. I believe we have a link on the city website on the front page to sign up. Is that correct?
I'm going to have to verify that. I know that the event's being run by Terry Campus for Life in conjunction with Blue Zone, but I'll see if we've shared that link. So we'll follow up.
I have it on my social media if you would like to sign up. So you can always go to, I think a lot of us have it on there if you'd like to sign up. But that should be great. That's Tuesday night at, I believe, 5 o'clock. I might be wrong on the time.
5 to 7:30.
So join us.
One last thing, as a reminder, and thank you for sharing this with me today, Councilmember LeBlanc. There's a lot of data out there about the serious injuries from e-bikes with our kids and how they're actually a lot worse, very serious injuries, far more serious than regular bicycles. So just as a reminder, our Ride Right campaign is all about the cyclists and the cars, because we have to coexist. And how can we better do that? One is making sure that the kids are riding bikes that they are able to ride, or everyone knowing that they're very powerful, they're basically a motorized vehicle, and that cars, when they collide with bikes, and we need to keep our eyes open, but we need people to be responsible. It's all about education. But now we will be actually enforcing as well, and we really just want everyone to be safe. So make sure we are paying attention. And parents, I actually said this to someone, and they said, "What are you even talking about?" I thought, oh, geez. Light colored clothing when it's going to be dark is really important, and then also having the reflective gear. Very important if you're going to be out after dark. I know that now we have longer days, which is good, but we also just, as a reminder that it is dark out there. There are a lot of places that don't have good lighting just because it's, we have rural areas as well. We want everyone to be safe, but we want our kids to know the rules of the road, and make sure that you're following our information on our website, which is, you could just Google, I think, e-bikes in San Marcos, and it'll take you right to our page. But anyway, just as a reminder, we're coexisting on the same roads. We want people to be safe. So anyway, and thank you for sending that over to me, Councilmember. I actually put that on my social media today. So anyway, all right, anything else? All right, with that, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you.